Okay, Morgan dollars. These I've shown before. These I have not. And in these, there are some ones that I cleaned. Now, this would have made for a much more interesting video had I done the beforehand, but take my word for it. Some of these were pretty rough. Now, what have I done here? Have I ruined the coin? These are 1921 Morgans. They're incredibly common. They were less than $30, and the current melt value of silver is something like almost $26, right? So I guess the worst I could have done was turn them into glorified 90% silver rounds. I mean, does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? So I did clean, I think like 7 of them. And let's take a look. I think they're the ones on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But let's take a look at the ones that I'm pretty sure I didn't clean. But here's one. And again, all 1921s. And who's to say even some of these weren't cleaned beforehand either years ago, right? I mean, how do you tell? Unless it's really obvious. So in a sense, I just have these for stacking purposes, not so much the numismatic value that may or may not be attached. These, again, I think the premium on these is like, what, $4? Based on the price, like maybe $4 to $5. And I know that cleaning coins is frowned upon heavily in this particular hobby, coin hobby. And, but the value will never be worth less than the silver content itself, right? So I understand you don't want to do this to very expensive coins or rare coins. But 1921 Morgans, I mean, I don't see the big deal. And by the way, none of these I've shown have been cleaned as far as I could tell, at least not by me. Did I try this one? Now, some of these look really bad. I mean, honestly, I don't think I did this one, but it's a little... This one's really... So these, again, were advertised as VG to XF, but it's like, I think even VG might have been a stretch. So they came out really nice, and the ones over here I'll get to in a second. So I want to go through these particular Morgan dollars. Again, all 1921 common dates. I like this one. I like the coloring on this one. I don't know how that happens, but... So, this first couple I know for sure I cleaned. This one. So how I cleaned it, I just did the old, I put some tin foil in a bowl, and I placed them in a bowl, and I poured baking soda on top, and then just some boiling hot water, and I let them sit there for a couple of minutes. And in a couple of cases, I took some Q-tips, and I would slowly sort of, I know it's abrasive, yeah, I get it, but these things are already scratched to holy hell anyway from being in bags and such over the years and being knocked around. So I took a little bit of a Q-tip and would gently go around some of the more problem areas, and man, it really pulled up a lot of crap. And then I would remove them and run them under some warm water and use my fingers to kind of like polish them up a little bit. So again, this one I definitely cleaned. I mean, I'd rather have it look, I mean, some of these here, I mean, again, I don't have the before shots, but look like they spent the night inside somebody's asshole, okay? So I mean, that's how rough they were. Like, I think this one, I couldn't even see any details. It was like covered, you know? So I think it looks much better now. You know, since I'm not selling these things, let's see what the big deal is. This one also. So I know there's other cleaning methods out there. So yeah, I definitely try to clean this one. I think the spot here I might have. And I just let the baking soda and hot water reaction do its job. And when it stopped bubbling, I just carefully removed the coin and rinsed it off. And it made quite a difference. Let me know what you think. So again, I know cleaning coins is a big no-no. But for something like this, is it really that big of a deal? This one definitely cleaned. I was watching somebody talk about how can you tell, and I guess if you tilt it and it kind of turns blue, I guess, but I don't know. I mean, if I take one that's not cleaned, I don't know if for example, let me just take one over here. Let me try this one, for example. I mean, yeah, I don't know if that's a good indicator as to whether or not it's been cleaned. So whatever scratches are on here, for the most part, are just scratches that were already on here. E21. Yeah. So again, I guess, the worst case scenario is these are no longer, I guess, worth $29 and change. They're worth what, $25.86. I think I cleaned this one. If I did, it came out really well. And for sure, yeah, this one has some kind of stuff going on. So once again, I just dropped them in some hot water, baking soda, tin foil, and let the reaction do its thing. This one I definitely cleaned. This one was in very rough shape because I remember I was trying to work this a little bit, and I just decided to leave it. I mean, it wasn't coming off. This one might have had a couple of baths. And there's this on the back, which is, I don't know, what is that, like a PVC stripe or something from being in those old plastic flips. So, yeah, I know I'll get a lot of grief for having cleaned Morgan dollars. I did this once before with a real busted out Silver Eagle. It was like 2010, and it was covered in gunk. Anyway, let me know what you think. I'll line them all up here. And you think it's a big deal for coins like this? Morgan dollars. Thanks for watching.